I just finished watching The Boys like 20 minutes ago, the series finale. Spoiler alerts ahead. Lots of spoilers. I'm gonna spoil everything, alright? It was really lame. It was a really lame season finale. And if you're one of those guys or girls that went to theaters to watch it, you guys are such suckers, dude. It would be such a waste of money if you went to watch it in the theaters. Like, it wasn't good. This was a horrible season, and it was a horrible season finale. There's no other way to put it. If you like this season finale, I think you just have dog shit taste. Seriously. Like, this was a lame finale. The fights were lame. The dialogue was lame. It was so boring. I felt like I wasted an hour. I literally wasted an hour of my life watching this series finale. I could have been eating breakfast and making a video of actually something cool. But instead, I'm going to make a video about talking shit about The Boys series finale. Because it was horrible. Like, okay. The first few minutes was about Frenchie's death and like mourning him. That was boring and lame and uninteresting. And they made the Will part where Huey's talking his Will, trying to make it funny. It's not funny. It's just like, get it over with. Like, get it on to the action part. Because I really don't have time to feel sorry for fucking Frenchie. Because I don't care about Frenchie. I really don't. If you cared about his death or he was your favorite character, I don't know what to tell you. Gas. And another thing, the fights were lame. Like, and the deaths were lame. For example, the fight between Huey, spoiler, the fight between Huey and the priest with the mega voice, it was so over and quick, so easily. Like it was basically Huey was about to get blasted with sound by the priest. Mother Milk comes behind him, wraps his mouth with a metal, titanium metal gag ball that Ashley made for them to use, right? And then the power basically explodes his head. That was so lame. That fight was literally like less than 2 minutes. And it wasn't even a fight. It was more like Huey running away and this guy basically falling into a trap. Another thing that was lame. Another thing that I think is lame. The whole Soldier Boy plotline. You know, after the whole thing, what are they gonna? What would the government do with his like body? Like, he's in a gas chamber to sleep in Homelander's room. And then Homelander dies. What happens to Soldier Boy? They never fixed that little plot hole or anything. This whole season was so lame. They really needed Soldier Boy to make it interesting, and that couldn't save the season. It really couldn't. Like I'm not sure how you guys feel, but I felt like The Boys, the 5th season, was really boring and lame. The jokes didn't hit. The fights didn't hit. Especially in a series finale where you wanted Homelander to kind of get his ass kicked. It wasn't good enough. You know, that season 3 episode with Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Huey versus Homelander, I wanted something to that level. I know they wouldn't reach that level, that peak that they had, but I at least wanted them to have an attempt to it. And he didn't. They made it so lame and boring. Like, it's just Butcher and Kimiko, right, versus fucking Homelander. And they're like getting their ass handed. And fucking Homelander's about to fly away. And by the way, this is like being broadcasted live to people to watch. Ryan comes in and he does his thing, holding his father back, making him not fly. As they're dogging him and they're finally got him pinned, Kimiko, before she even has it, like, she was having like cold feet. And then he had this little thing where Frenchie's there and he's talking to Kimiko, saying, "What's happened? why aren't you blasting him? Da 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 da. And it was like, oh my god, bro, another little waste of fucking time on dialogue no one wanted. And like it's so lame because Kimiko is such a such a unimportant character until now that they give her this kind of treatment, and I'm just like, oh, dude, like shut up, just blast him, just blast the guy. It's not that hard, but you know. So Hamler loses his powers, and then he starts crying about he basically looks like shit scared, right? And he throws a punch, but he basically gets his ass handed. And as he's getting his ass handed, he starts crying like a baby, and it's a little satisfying, but it's not really that satisfying. Where he's like, "Oh, you can't do this." He's like, "I'll eat your shit. I'll suck your dick," and I was kind of laughing a little bit about the sucking your dick part. But every other thing was kind of like, all right, we get it. Like, he's fucking begging. He's a little fucking pussy. He's a little wimp. He's like crying, begging. And as Butcher, you know, just with his little crowbar, bam! And, you know, it was alright. But, I mean, the fights were so lame. I mean, one of the things was really lame was Annie's character this season, and the series finale too was kind of lame about her too. Like, they didn't get her to actually really use her powers explosively. Like, when she's fighting the Deep, I get that she's trying to like convince the Deep to like change sides, but he's an idiot. So she's just like getting her ass handed to him, and I'm just like, god damn, like, she flies now. You think she'll be able to do more with her powers besides getting her ass beaten by guys? Like, seriously, that's basically Annie's character, getting her ass beaten by guys. Like, it's... And Adib's death, I wish it was more bloodier and more violent for such a stupid character. I mean, he's such a stupid, funny character, but he's such a horrible person, too. You kind of want him to have a better, like, a worse death, and he didn't give it to us. They gave us some lame death where a tentacle goes up his, and then goes up his ass, and that's it. You know, like, it would be nice if he got eaten alive. Like, you know, like he was getting really eaten alive, like he was getting like tossed around by a bunch of like orcas or dolphins, and then like the last thing to kill him was actually little fishes like fucking him up in the inside and shit, like, you know, like something grotesque, like something really like violent with like fishes and stuff. But we got like a just you know, like he got his ass basically torn up and tentacle up his fucking through his mouth, and like, okay, cool, whatevers. And then with some of the Gen V characters were thrown in the series finale talking with Annie, like it was so lame. Like I'm done with The Boys. I'm so done with this series. I'm so like it's obviously it's over, but I'm so done with it where I'm just like, I'm glad all the projects are canceled, because this season was boring, lame, and horrible. Season 4 was also lame and boring and horrible, but at least there was more action in season 4. There was more violence and fights. This one was just all lame dialogue. Sorry about the noise, it's just Jolly Ranchers. Like, give us more. I kind of like that Huey and Annie are having a child. I think that's kind of cute, but like, I did like, I kind of say I did like the Huey. Let's put this away. I did like the Huey and Butcher fight. Their little dialogue. Butcher flashbacking scene, his younger brother's Lenny's face over Huey's face while he's on the ground as he's about to unleash the virus to kill all soups. But it's just like, I think that's probably the only little bit of dialogue that I liked in the series finale, was where Huey and Butcher are having that last dialogue of battles between morals. You know, Butcher with his, it has to be done, all the soups must be over, and Huey's like, we won, Homelander's dead, relax. But you know, you're not gonna lie to you, Huey did put up a few punches against Butcher. Like Butcher ate those punches for sure, but those punches weren't light. Like, those punches were pretty good for Huey's side. Like, Huey threw some good punches. Did they like do shit? A little bit, but you gotta admit, that fight was kind of nice. Huey and Butcher's fight was a little nice. I like that. It was a little emotional tension there that gave it that approval. But yeah, the series finale sucked. I'm glad this series is over. Vought Rising probably is not on my radar. It's not. Like, after the whole mess with the boys and Gen V and whatever with their plots to do, it all crumbled. They had something and they let it crumble. And yeah. And if you're one of those people that watched the series finale in the theater, you're such a sucker. What a waste. If you bought a ticket, if you actually had to buy a ticket for that, what a waste of money. That was such a waste of money. Dog water. Like, it was such a lame series finale. I can't believe anyone would think this was worth putting in a theater. But that's my thoughts on the series finale of The Boys. Overall, my favorite season was third. My second one was the first season. And then my third favorite was the second season. And then the fourth and fifth season, the worst ones. Obviously, fifth being the absolute worst one because of all the sloppiness, rushness, lame fights, lame dialogue, lame jokes. Season 4 was alright. It's just like, you have Kimiko, or they have that singing scene or something, like, whatevers. Like, I don't know. I think they should have probably, with season 3 being my favorite one, and with that fight with Soldier Boy and Homelander and Huey and Butcher, I kind of wish they tried to have something like that for the final fight. At least try to live up to that. At least try to reach for that. But man, they really dropped the ball. Anyways, I gotta go because I need to start doing more things.